There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Throwing right away is Williams. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A lot of great quarterbacks from USC. Here's another one. The rookie's got a first down.
I'm sure after he called the ball and looked up, he thought to himself, uh-oh, trying to find some space, trying to make people miss. But a swarm of defenders were there, and they dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Swift. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Here's a 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Swift. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Play action. Now Williams. And that's incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick six. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
Second and 10. To throw, it's Williams. That pass complete to Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. To the air, Williams. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Throwing again here, Williams. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years of not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. 19 yards for DeAndre Swift. And the Bears are an extra point away from evening this one up. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Love. And incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Right back to Swift again on second down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 52 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. To throw, Williams. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Williams. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
They'll go play action here with Williams. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Bears have taken the lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Play fake. Here's Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Love now. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. Pitch and catch there, good for 13. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Love, they go play action now. Steps away. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Under pressure, they got him again. Dayo Odangbo, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. Taken in at the 22. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Love going to break the huddle. Lead the Packers up here 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one caught downfield by Watson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. A complete once again to Watson. Now 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, Love. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. To the air again, Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Here now, 2nd and 4. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Love looking to throw it. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee you he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action this time with Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Nice play call. A little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's Love. Touchdown, Packers! From 13 yards out. And the Packers are an extra point away from drawing level.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Extra point from McManus is good, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Throwing is Williams. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job, and Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie, defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and now we've got a 3rd and 3. Love from the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Going back to Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Onto the field now come the Bears. the play fake. It's Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
To throw, it's Williams. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
2 yards still to go. Third down now. Swift going to try up the middle. And he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The Packers ready to take over offensively. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Throwing, Love. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
That is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Love. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, in a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick 6, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Packer offense heading back for one final first half drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And some space here. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And how about that for just running out the clock? As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Love now. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On 2nd and 10, Love. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Final play of the half, Love. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 57 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. They'll look to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Romeo Doubs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Again, it's Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have retaken a third-quarter lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Right back to Swift again on second down. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Williams. eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rashawn Gary, his second sack of the night.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We've still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Here's Hardman to return.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Love.
He finds his big tight end. That's Kraft. And he is going to have a Packers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Love, they go play action now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 30. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
69 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
2nd and 1 now from the 21.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
This to Jacobs on the toss right. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. That toss play right, we know it's one of the successful plays they have in their arsenal, and they showed you why there.
And remember, in order for it to be successful, because it's a little bit of a slower developing play, those blocks at the line of scrimmage have to be kept have to be held so that the runner can get to the corner and turn it upfield.
Jacobs will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Jordan Love
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Packers are able to add on to that lead.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
To throw, Williams. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw now, here's Love.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. taken at about the 36. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second and a couple.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
To the air, Williams. That's complete. Rome Odunze.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line. 15 yards there for number 15. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 75 yards on the ground here for Swift, and he's got a first down as well.
Anytime you hear the term an explosive run, most teams I know define that as any run over 10 yards, and they got that and more. How about a lot of credit for the big guys up front? That offensive line firing out, creating plenty of space, and a big run ensued.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Looking to throw is Williams.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Following the interception, Love. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Here's Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards for number 11.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, was the one disrupting there defensively.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. This is brought in at the 21. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7, and the Bears take over.
The Chicago offense set to get started. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Rashawn Gary that time through the line and getting the tackle for loss.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Throwing is Williams.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll give them 8 that time. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Love.
Able to find his man, Kraft.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Love looking to throw it.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
On now is the Packers punter, as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. From the gun, here's Williams. A short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
2nd down and 6 now.
Looking to throw. Williams. And it's incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on the receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. Love from the gun. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
Throwing. Love.
He's got his target. That's complete.
Touchdown, Packers.
Romeo Doubs.
57 yards.
And the Packers use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap.
But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Williams going to look to throw again.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
To throw, it's Williams.
And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
He's got it to the 43 here.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Love looking to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, a 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Packers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Working out of the gun, Williams.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And he is caught.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
They'll get this into the hands of Adunze.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. One final shot. They'll look to throw to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in.
I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Throwing again here, Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.